I'm Sam Aiko, and you're experiencing The Organic Matrix, the show that captures eternal wisdom of real human experiences to benefit the generations to come. Today on the show, we look into Nylien Quintana's Matrix. Nylien is a health and wellness coach based in Miami. She is the founder of the Ultimate Awakening brand.
Hello, everyone. This is Nylien Quintana. I'm a friend of Sam. From Ultimate Awakening, which is an Instagram page. It's my online business.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in Cuba, in Havana, the capital. But I arrived here in Miami when I was 8 years old. So I've been, I guess, pretty much raised here in Miami for the most part.
That's amazing. So do you eat a lot of Cuban food?
Yes.
That's awesome.
But it's been 22 years. So I've been here 22 years already.
Are you like vegan or vegetarian?
I am not. I mean, I try and tend to eat as much vegetarian food. Like I don't eat eggs. I don't drink cow milk for years already. But I do occasionally eat some seafood and, indulge when my body wants it. But I do have like vegan meals and vegetarian meals like in my week, like I try not to have meat all day, like for breakfast, I never have any type of meat. I usually have smoothies, parfaits, overnight oats, pancakes. But, for lunch, sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, I'm not like a all day consumer either. Which is, again, everything's little by little, it's one step, I already eliminated it from my breakfast. So, little by little.
Coming up, Nylien gives us a few words that describe who she is. What are a few words that describe who you are?
Well, the first word that comes to my mind is adventurous. I'm very adventurous. I'm a health enthusiast, very easygoing, optimistic, caring, honest, grounded, and ambitious. I think those are some really good words.
After the break, Nylien shares with us how she uses her passion for health and wellness to serve her community. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Right now, through the Ultimate Awakening, what I do is I help people awaken to the current realities of the world, meaning, anything from the ingredients on our labels to what we eat, what we do, where we're breathing, candles, anything, even what we drink, in order for them to make better lifestyle choices to be able to reach their full potential.
What awakened you to walk the path of enlightening others about their health and the dangers of environmental toxins?
So I've been learning about this a few years back, but I think what actually sparked everything was when I was introduced to Live Ultimate, which that's where we met. And I feel like that's when I actually started, caring about what I was putting in and on my body, because Live Ultimate is a wellness company who has skincare and supplement products, and they are really the best quality that I've seen in the market. I'm talking about like no fillers, non-GMO, no weird ingredients. It's literally just, the superfoods, and that's it. There's nothing else. No, gums or citric acid, no craziness. We need to care what we put on our skin. We need to care what we eat. We need to care even what we breathe. Like all these Febreze, oh gosh, it's so toxic. Even laundry detergents, to be honest. Everything.
Nylien mentions how certain products that contain fragrance gave her certain side effects.
Well, personally, I actually sometimes get even headaches. Like let's say like if I have a Febreze or like a candle, like a really toxic candle, I'll get a headache because as you start into your awakening path and you start reducing these toxic ingredients and toxic products from your life, your body starts recognizing it. So when you get actually introduced to something that's toxic, like for say a Febreze or a candle, your body's like, oh, there's something going on here, something wrong. And then you'll start to feel the symptoms. And that's when you need to tune into your body and be like, okay, what has changed? What have I done differently? What am I using? You got to get to the root cause, not just go ahead and take a Tylenol, pop it, and oh, my headache is gone. Yeah, your headache is gone temporarily, but once you do the same thing again, it's going to come back.
Yeah, so it's like I love that philosophy because it's like instead of being dependent on something that you're gonna have to always take, like mindfulness is a true way of like finding the rhythm of your body. And I could really relate to that because I used to be like vegan in high school for like 2 years. And like one day I went to the movies with my friends and I was eating really clean. And they're like, oh, why don't you just eat some Cheetos with us at the movie theater? And I'm like, yeah, it's been years. Let me just eat a bag of Cheetos. And like I was sick and had stomach cramps for like a whole day. And I was like, wow, like my body, like the body really like once it has good stuff, it just really doesn't want to tolerate the bad stuff, and it's like evident.
Exactly. Yep.
It's so shocking how these things are so exposed to us. Like today, I was doing research on Ventura County in California, and I was looking on EWG and I found an article about like they dump like 18 million gallons of pesticides, and like everyone that gets exposed to the pesticide is the people that are within a 2.5 radius. And there's like 104 elementary schools surrounded by these chemicals that are being found in the water and the carpets and the windows and the doors. And it causes developmental and reproductive like issues down the road. And it's like insane because there's no laws regulating how much pesticides they can use. But like Randy's like been telling me a lot about the Kangen water machine, and that's like a great market. According to the National Library of Medicine, fragrance consumer products such as cleaning supplies, air fresheners, and personal care products are a primary source of indoor pollutants and personal exposure. Previous research indicates that fragrance products can trigger adverse health effects for our workplace and public places. But spreading knowledge about health and wellness and spreading awareness about the toxins in fragrance isn't the only way Nylien serves her community. Nylien is a proud user of Kangen water, and that is one of the businesses she partakes in. Besides being used, you can use the 11.5 pH water and the 2.5 pH water to get rid of mold, fungus, and insects, and it's completely non-toxic. And you can, like a Kangen water machine lasts up to 30 to 40 years. So it's like they can go organic in another level. And I can only imagine like what kind of developmental disorders are like going on with the children there that they don't even know is causing it. Like I want to do research on what's the health of these people, because the average lifespan of a farmer is 49 years old compared to like the American average of like 79 years old life expectancy. So they're like losing half of their lives being exposed to all these things.
That's insane. Yeah, pesticides are really, really bad. I'm actually very happy because I invested in a Kangen water machine and it's been life changing. I'm talking about like I now use no laundry detergent, so I'm saving money. I'm using that to clean the counters. I'm using it as water. I'm sharing water with others, especially people that are in need, and removing the pesticides. Like you could literally taste the difference. And when you're watching the veggies, you could feel the oil coming off. Like, I'll scrub the veggies good and you feel the oil coming off. And I did a test actually with some strawberries. I was doing, some content creation and I had some strawberries and I put some that, I cleaned some and I didn't clean some. And then I mixed it all together and we did like a test taste and we could actually taste the difference between the strawberries that were clean with the Kangen water and the ones that were clean with tap water. And the difference was that I'm not sure, but I pretty much think that everyone knows strawberries nowadays do not taste sweet. I mean, the ones that you buy from the market, they have like this acidic aftertaste. And you're like, it's not the same strawberry that were painted, in products and juices and candy. It's not the same strawberries anymore. You clean them with the Kangen water, and I swear they turn back sweet, like because it's that pesticide that's keeping it acidic. It's so life changing.
I definitely have to like start getting on that because I've been seeing like the difference between like using 11.5 and regular tap water, and like what they recommend is like washing it under cold water. But when you look at the difference when you put it in a bowl and you see like the bowl looks like green, yellow, like it looks like kind of pea. Then you see like the water bowl is still same color, and then like seeing all of the oils, it's like it's like we don't realize these things, like, and that's why like slowing down can really be life-changing. Like it's crazy how we're taught to like live so fast, but we miss out on so much.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people too are scared, not scared, but what's holding them back from making these changes is that they think it's like, okay, well, tomorrow, let's say I'm not drinking this, I'm not eating that, I'm not using this. No, like you have to start incorporating these things little by little. Like when I first got the Kangen machine, I didn't like stop using all my toxic products right away. You kind of have to ease into it, start using, one, like it took me maybe like a month and a half to stop using laundry detergent, like it's little stuff like that. Now, like I can't eat my veggies and fruits without washing them first. It's little steps that you take every day that, get you to the goal. You can't just reach the goal tomorrow because you decide to wake up and do it, So, it's little by little. That's what I recommend everyone to do. Just take it easy on yourself. Like, don't punish yourself today because you freaking ate pizza all day. It's okay, moderation, behave for the rest of the week.
I love that. Yeah, and I like that you have a positive attitude with it because it's a lifestyle, right? And it's like it's meant to give us more enrichment. So like not falling trick into like not being tricked by our own emotions, like and enjoying the journey, right? Like
Exactly.
Providing alkaline water and replacing pesticides isn't the only thing Kangen water can do. Nylien also mentions how her Kangen water machine helps her mom with her oral health as well. What kind of benefits have you been seeing since you made these lifestyle changes?
More energy, that's for sure. I've always had problems with like my digestive system, like using the bathroom. I guess I didn't eat enough fiber at a point in time, and now I go to the bathroom regularly. Like first thing in the morning, I drink my, like a full glass of water and with the elixir, and I'll be going to the bathroom like within the next 30 minutes. It's amazing. I mean, I feel a more alkalized body too. Like I don't have acid reflux. Before even Live Ultimate 2, I used to have a lot of acid reflux. Now I can literally lay down after eating and I don't have that anymore. It's amazing, what the right products and water can do for you. And I mean, the stories I've heard of, other people and testimonials are insane. That's why I'm like trying to share it with as much people. Like, for example, my mom actually had like this thing going on with her teeth, like where she was getting like gum disease, and like she went to a dentist and they were like, hey, you need like $30,000 to fix this. Like, that's it, you got to pay it, payment plans, this and that. And I told her, let's try using the 2.5 acidic water, which kills bacteria and all that good stuff. And she's been using it for the past 2 months, and she's telling me like her mouth is getting better. And that's that. I go once a week to drop off the water, like I could be a little more consistent. It's just she lives a little far, so it's a little troublesome. But she's been telling me, she's like, like her mouth is not stinking anymore because her mouth had really bad breath because her gums will bleed and the blood will cause the bad breath. And now she doesn't have bad breath. She feels her teeth stronger. She told me like she had like a teeth that felt like it was on a fall. She feels stronger. I mean, it's looking good. I'm just very impressed. Like every day that passes by, I discover something new with the water or a new way to use it or helping somebody. And I'm like, wow, water is the new hottest next trend right now.
That's amazing, and I'm really glad to hear that, like something like with this amazing medical machine, like what wonders it can do for somebody suffering. Because like having illness in the mouth is the worst. Like we just think about like how does like removing your wisdom teeth feel, like how does like tonsil removal feel, like everything that has to do with this area is like super hard. And like and we're consumers as humans, like we just love to consume, so it's like not being able to enjoy food because of pain, like.
Oh yeah.
And it's amazing that you can help her like that. And I bet like she's gonna be excited to be a customer one day if it's helping her and she's only getting it once a week.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Hopefully one day we can get her.
Nylien was always interested in becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a woman of business, and some of her classes encouraged her to pursue entrepreneurship.
I mean, one of my favorite was business classes. I just like the idea of being a businesswoman and having my own company one day.
Is that what inspired you to take the path you're currently on?
Yeah, and awakening it into my healing and wellness journey, I think had a lot to do with it. And I think that, I mean, I've been trying to get into wellness obviously for years, but consistency, school, there's always an excuse, right? If it's not your priority, there's always an excuse. But I feel since I got introduced to Live Ultimate 2 years ago, and now, with Kangen, I've been already for a few months. I'm like more into it. The more I discover, the more I research, the more I get to know the business and the products and everything, the more I'm like, I want to keep going.
Love that.
Well, I still have my 9 to 5 job, which is a full-time banking job as a compliance analyst. So on the side and on my free time, like after work, on the weekends, I mean, sometimes during lunch, I I do a lot of content creation, a lot of MLM is reaching out to people. So a lot of network marketing, social networking, talking. I do have availability, on my IG to book a call, discovery call, see what you're currently struggling with, what you need help with, what's the reason you want to connect, see how I could help you. And there we go from there, pretty much.
It's I wish, like I'm hoping that now that coaching is becoming more widely available, that people are more open to asking for help, because I feel like that's the hardest
Mhm.
thing. And like
Yep.
reaching out for a coach is like someone has to take that leap and be like, I'm ready to change. Because I feel it's so amazing that like we as humans we can accomplish anything, but like we get in our own way a lot. And like I
Oh
always
yeah.
wonder, like, why are we programmed like that? Like so
The
like
only person holding us back is ourselves.
yeah, and I wonder like why are we evolutionarily built like that? Like,
I feel like because we're afraid of change, we're afraid to fail, we're afraid, to see what's actually on the other side
mm,
because we're comfortable where we are. So we're like, why do we need to change? It really sucks. You literally have to be consistent and constantly push yourself. And that's one of the reasons actually why I like multi-level marketing so much, is because you discover so much about yourself and you grow so much, because there's failures, there's rejection, there's everything you could find in there. There's pressure, there's everything. So I feel like MLM really like pushes you to be better for yourself, to not depend on anybody, to make your own money too. I like it. I actually wrote a little article on that. I'll probably share it with you later.
Yeah, let me know. What platform is your article on?
I on IG. I have everything there.
MLM is like not 9 to 5, like it's like a spiritual journey. It's like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
but I love the community and the growth about it and like the lessons that we learned. So what are some of the hurdles that you had and like how did you overcome them? What did you learn?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is self-limiting beliefs,
Mm,
because that's what really holds you back. Like, why can I do that? Why can I get there?
mm,
Like you start comparing yourself. Okay, well, this person started maybe 3 months ago and they already have this many clients or this and that, and it's you holding yourself back. If you do the work, you stay consistent, you'll get there. Like it's little steps every day. It's not just, okay, I'm gonna wake up and do this. No, no, no. I think you have to really be open to growth and healing, because failure is a big part of entrepreneurship, but you have to learn from your mistakes, because if you're going to continue making the same mistakes, you're not going to get anywhere. So that's something that we forget, at least, when in MLM or any business, to be honest, is look for what went wrong, what didn't work, and then, go and make it better, which is something I'm doing right now. Still, again, it's still learning, still growing. It's a journey. It's not like you're gonna be forever healed. Healing is not like, okay, I got there. No, healing is a continuous journey. It never stops.
yeah, that's like the thing about meditation, right? It's like once we get over one thing, like you sit still enough and like another thing starts to like surface and you're like, oh, well, now I have to deal with that. Like, okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, meditation's a great example.
What are 3 books you recommend to the audience and why?
Well, I'm gonna be really honest. I just started getting into books and audibles, obviously now, because I want to grow, I want to heal, I want to learn, I want to implement things into my business, I want to become the best version of myself. So before, I guess I didn't really care about that. I didn't read books, but now I notice that you need to. Books is like training your mind, like our brain is a muscle. We need to constantly feed it stuff so it can grow too. So I've only listened to a few, but they're really good books. So here you go. Unleash the Power Within by Tony Robbins. I actually just finished it last week and it's like, wow. Like if you don't follow Tony Robbins, you need to, really need to listen to him. He'll literally get you off the couch and motivated in your peak state.
Yeah.
Another one was Napoleon Hill's Keys to Success, which, it's really good when you're starting out. And then Start with Why by Simon Sinek, which is basically is like your why is your power. You need to know why you're doing things, because I think we're accustomed too much to doing things a certain way and never questioning it. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm doing something and I'm like, why am I doing this? Am I enjoying this? This is what I've been taught, but is this really how I want to keep doing it? A lot of people don't question these things and they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And then like 50 years later, why are we still doing this? Well, nobody stopped and questioned why.
Right. Yeah. And that's definitely what I grew up seeing with my parents. Like they worked so hard and you know, if I was built different, I'd look at them and be like, I want to work hard too. They're inspiring. But I actually saw like, as I'm a more of an emotionally driven person. So it's like I saw how much emotional sacrifice they had to have being like hours apart, working so much, like missing bonding time with us. Like, And as a kid, like kids don't understand that like if your parents never home, that they're working, sacrificing sweat and blood off their back, like to provide, the kid just, sees it as an abandonment thing. So it's like to see those sacrifice, I was like, okay, I definitely don't want to, I want to break that cycle. Like I don't want to miss out on these things and have my kid accidentally like grow resentment toward me because of a misunderstanding, and it's stressful. So because I'm from New York City, so like the hustle here is like culture,
Yeah.
but it's like I love that now how technology is developing, we can really start from scratch and like build a platform, build a community, build a business, and we learn at our own pace. And I feel fulfilled doing what I do every day. And I'm sure like you do too, like when you have clients and you like help them get breakthroughs, like nothing beats helping another person have more happiness. And it helps us have more happiness because we're all like mirrors of each other. And there's so many lessons we can learn, like if we truly learn how to receive and listen.
Yeah, there's a lot of cycles to break.
Mhm.
Generational cycles, because they come way before our parents too, or their parents were shown by somebody else how to live life.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I try to tell my friends like when they get mad at their parents, I'm like, because I lost mine like a couple of years ago. So I'm like, look, I'll be a window to the future for you. Like our parents are not like, just because we're younger doesn't mean that like they're supposed to know better with certain things. Like in a strange way, like we're created to know more than them. Like we are in the future. We see a whole nother world that is foreign to them. Like we imagine how things were in the 50s, 60s, 70s, like it was completely different. And we know times changed a lot. Like I remember when cell phones weren't even like a thing everyone had. Like I remember the dial-up tone in the computer, VCR. Like I remember when DVDs came out. Like I remember my parents using floppy disks. So like to think like in my 20 years of existence, how we have mini computers and tablets and fast internet, and like this is what kids are like growing up with. Like it's wild how like the kids are going to like evolve so much quicker, and we just as the future beings of our lineage, like we have to have patience and realize like we're we know better because they gave us a privilege. And like it's easier to have forgiveness for our parents if we look at it like that. Like they this is where they're at and they blessed us to expand past that, and like to be less focused on trying to change who they are, because that's a battle that'll never be won. Like, but one thing that you can do is like you can always build a bridge of communication, and like that can open up a whole channel of healing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And actually, I know that there was a lot of headaches and bad things happening in 2020, but I think two of the things that 2020 brought the most, I mean, the pandemic, was one, MLM. Like MLM now has literally changed, like you're saying, not everyone has a chance to do their own platform and create, their generational wealth from their for themselves. I think that's very important. I'm right now on Instagram and Facebook at ultimate_awakening, but you never know, maybe in the future I'll start with YouTube and other platforms. I've been thinking about opening a TikTok account, so we'll see.
So thank you so much for coming on and sharing a lot of your wisdom with us, and I look forward to having you again so you can update us on your ambitions and your passions and how far your business is going.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
If you find this podcast inspiring, feel free to follow us. Next week on The Organic Matrix, we welcome back Randy Young, a previous guest we had on the show on our second episode. This time he brings along a guest, and his name is Romain. Romain shares with us how finding the right nutrition and pairing the right water saved him from being on his deathbed. I hope you had a great day, and thank you so much for spending time with us here at the Organic Matrix.